Doctors reveal 5 foods that naturally eliminate insomnia in seniors and improve sleep quality. Doctors reveal insomnia in old age disappeared by eating this every day. Let me tell you something from the heart. Over the last 3 decades of my medical practice, I've sat with thousands of seniors, and time after time, I've watched their eyes grow tired, not from age, but from nights spent tossing and turning. Sleep, once something that came as easily as breath in youth, becomes elusive in older age. Insomnia is more than just a restless night. It is a thief, a quiet one. It steals your peace, your memory, your energy, and most painfully, your joy. You see, as we age, our body's natural production of melatonin, the hormone that tells our brain it's time to rest, gradually diminishes. Alongside that, other age-related issues begin to show up. Aches in the joints, worries that sit heavy on the chest, nighttime bathroom trips, and before long, many seniors feel like sleep has betrayed them. I've seen patients who've tried everything: pills, white noise, meditation, yet still they lie awake, frustrated and exhausted. But here's the truth. Sometimes the answer doesn't lie in stronger medication. It lies in something much simpler, in the foods we put on our plates. Recent research in nutritional neuroscience is finally confirming what many traditional healing systems have known for centuries. Food is not just fuel, it is medicine. And for seniors struggling with insomnia, certain foods have been proven to naturally support the body's sleep mechanisms in the most powerful way. Today, I want to share 5 of them with you. These are not exotic superfoods. They are humble, accessible ingredients, but their effect on sleep can be profound, and I have seen them work wonders firsthand. Let me begin with the first: cherries, especially tart cherries. I remember one of my patients, a 74-year-old retired school teacher named Mrs. Ahuja. She hadn't slept through the night in almost 6 months. She looked drained every time she came in, her eyes sunken, her spirit dim. We discussed her lifestyle, and I gently suggested trying tart cherry juice daily, just a small glass in the evening. She was skeptical, but within 2 weeks, she came back beaming. She said, "Doctor, for the first time in ages, I slept for 7 hours straight." Why does this happen? Because tart cherries are one of the few natural sources of melatonin. A study published in the Journal of Medicinal Food showed that participants who drank tart cherry juice increased their sleep time by over 1 hour each night. Another study in the European Journal of Nutrition confirmed similar findings, showing improvements in sleep quality and duration in older adults. Cherries are not just sweet, they are sleep's silent allies. The second food is almonds, and not just for their crunch or flavor. Almonds are rich in magnesium. Now, why is magnesium important? As we age, our bodies tend to become deficient in this mineral. Magnesium plays a key role in relaxing the muscles, calming the nervous system, and helping regulate melatonin production. A randomized clinical trial published in the Journal of Research in Medical Sciences found that elderly individuals who took magnesium supplements slept longer, had better sleep efficiency, and woke up feeling more refreshed. But here's the better news. You don't always need a supplement. Just a small handful of almonds before bed, or as part of dinner, can make a noticeable difference. One of my older patients, Mr. Desai, began adding almonds to his evening meal after our conversation. He came back a month later and said, "I don't know what's in those nuts, but I feel like I've gone back 10 years in time. I sleep like I did when I was 50. That's the power of nature when we trust it. Now let us talk about the third food, oats. Yes, humble oats. Often dismissed as just breakfast food, oats are a natural source of melatonin and complex carbohydrates. When consumed in the evening in a light portion, they help the brain absorb tryptophan. Tryptophan is the amino acid responsible for producing serotonin. And serotonin, in turn, is what the body uses to make melatonin. It is like a beautiful chain. Oats start the process that eventually brings deep, nourishing sleep. In a study published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine, researchers noted that complex carbohydrates like oats can support better sleep patterns in older adults, especially when consumed regularly. I often recommend a small bowl of warm oats with a touch of honey about an hour before bed. That warmth, that texture, that gentle rise in serotonin. It helps the body unwind. And in the quiet of the night, that matters. The fourth food is bananas. So simple, so often overlooked. Yet bananas are rich in potassium and magnesium. Both are natural muscle relaxants. Bananas also contain tryptophan. Remember that beautiful chain I mentioned earlier? Bananas help keep it strong. A study in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society noted that older adults with higher potassium levels in their diet had significantly better sleep efficiency. I recall a gentleman in his late 60s who came to me after months of sleep issues. His blood pressure was stable, his diet mostly vegetarian, but his sleep remained disturbed. We added one banana to his nightly routine. Just one. Within 10 days, he reported falling asleep faster and waking up less often. That's the thing with aging. Sometimes all the body needs is a gentle nudge in the right direction. The fifth and final food is warm milk. Yes, the age-old remedy that your grandmother probably swore by, but it turns out she was right. Warm milk contains calcium, which helps the brain use tryptophan to manufacture melatonin. It also has a psychological effect. That comforting, familiar warmth helps calm the nerves. There is a study in Nutrients Journal that explored the effects of milk on sleep and concluded that older adults who consumed milk before bedtime had improved sleep latency and felt more rested. I always tell my older patients, do not underestimate the healing power of rituals. Drinking a cup of warm milk before bed is not just about nutrients. It is about signaling to your brain that it is time to wind down, that it is safe to let go. Now let me be clear. No single food is a magic bullet, but when these 5 foods are gently woven into a senior's daily rhythm, something remarkable begins to happen. The body starts to remember its natural cycle. It begins to trust again. And sleep, which once felt like a stranger, becomes familiar once more. Insomnia in old age is not something we must simply accept. It is not a punishment of time. It is a signal, a message from the body saying, help me rest. And often that help comes not in the form of pills, but in the quiet wisdom of food. Our ancestors knew this. They believed in warm foods, in grounding, nourishing meals, in not eating too late, and science is finally catching up. Let me share one more story with you. A couple in their early 70s, married for over 45 years, came to me for help. The husband had trouble falling asleep. The wife, trouble staying asleep. They were frustrated, snapping at each other, missing their morning walks. Their smiles felt heavy. We didn't change much. We added tart cherry juice for him, a small bowl of oats with banana slices for her, almonds during the evening, warm milk as a nightly ritual. In just 3 weeks, their rhythm returned. They came back holding hands, laughing again. She said to me, "Doctor, it's like we've reclaimed our nights." That is why I share this with you today, because sleep is not just a biological need. It is an emotional reset, a deep spiritual cleansing that happens every night. And without it, the light in life begins to dim. But with the right support, with the right care, with the right foods, that light can shine brightly once more. To every senior reading or listening to this, please know, your body still remembers how to sleep. Sometimes it just needs the right nourishment, the right reminder, the right rhythm. Begin slowly, one change at a time. Perhaps start with tart cherries this week. Add almonds the next. Let oats and bananas comfort you. Let warm milk hold you in the quiet hours of the night. Give your body what it is asking for, and watch as sleep returns, gently, lovingly, fully. Remember, healing doesn't always come in loud ways. Sometimes it comes in a spoonful of something familiar, something warm, something your body already knows how to use. Sleep well, you deserve it. Can poor sleep be a sign of a bigger health problem in seniors? Let me speak to you not just as a doctor, but as someone who deeply cares for the well-being of our elders. Over the years, I've sat beside countless seniors who shared the same complaint. "Doctor, I can't sleep like I used to." They look tired, frustrated, and confused. Many think poor sleep is just part of getting older, something they simply have to live with. But let me tell you the truth that many do not hear often enough. Sometimes poor sleep is not just a normal part of aging. Sometimes it is the body whispering that something deeper is wrong. It is a message, a signal. And if we listen closely, we may find that insomnia or restless nights are signs of a bigger health problem that needs attention. In my years of medical practice, I've come to believe that sleep is a mirror. It reflects not only your physical state, but your emotional and mental state as well. When sleep begins to break down, it can mean something in the body or the mind is out of balance. Research supports this understanding. A study published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that nearly half of all adults over 65 who struggle with sleep also show symptoms of undiagnosed medical conditions. Sleep problems are not just surface-level disturbances. They often have roots deeper than we think. One of the most common hidden culprits is depression. And I say this with great care because many seniors do not feel comfortable talking about emotions. But the truth is that depression in older adults often looks different. It does not always appear as sadness. Sometimes it shows up as fatigue, as a loss of interest, as difficulty falling or staying asleep. According to the National Institute on Aging, sleep disturbances can be one of the earliest warning signs of depression in seniors. When your sleep changes suddenly, when you wake up in the middle of the night with a heavy heart, it may not just be about age. It may be your body asking you to look within. And when we ignore this, we miss the chance to heal something truly important. Another issue that hides behind poor sleep is chronic pain. Many seniors live with arthritis, nerve pain, or lingering injuries. And though they may get through the day, night is a different story. Pain that is quiet during the day can become sharp and persistent at night. It disturbs rest. It keeps the body tense. In a study by the National Sleep Foundation, over 70% of seniors with chronic pain reported poor sleep quality. That is not a small number. And what's even more troubling is that this poor sleep then increases their perception of pain the next day. It becomes a vicious cycle. Pain disrupts sleep. Lack of sleep makes pain feel worse. And around it goes. But when we start treating the pain directly, sleep often improves alongside it. Let us also not forget the role of breathing problems. Many seniors have a condition called sleep apnea, where breathing repeatedly stops and starts during the night. Often, they don't even realize it. They may just feel groggy in the morning, or need to take naps during the day, or wake up frequently to use the bathroom, not knowing the real reason is oxygen disruption during sleep. Sleep apnea is not just uncomfortable, it is dangerous. Studies have linked it to a higher risk of heart disease, stroke, and even cognitive decline. According to a study published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine, sleep apnea affects up to 38% of people over 65, and many go undiagnosed. If you or someone you love snores loudly, wakes up gasping, or feels unrefreshed after a full night in bed, it's worth getting checked. There's another health concern that often hides behind sleep disturbances. Cognitive decline. Research has found that disrupted sleep in older adults can be an early sign of Alzheimer's disease or other forms of dementia. One study from JAMA Neurology found that poor sleep quality was associated with a buildup of beta amyloid in the brain. That is one of the hallmarks of Alzheimer's. This doesn't mean every sleepless night points to dementia, but it does mean we cannot dismiss long-term sleep issues as harmless. The brain cleans itself during deep sleep, and when that process is interrupted, the risk of cognitive problems increases. I remember a patient of mine, a 78-year-old gentleman who came in because his wife was worried. He had become forgetful, irritable. He wasn't sleeping more than 3 hours a night. We ran some tests, and we caught early-stage cognitive changes. The good news is that once we improved his sleep through non-drug methods, his clarity began to return. Not perfectly, but noticeably. That is the power of catching things early. Even the heart can send warning signs through sleep. Conditions like heart failure or irregular heartbeats often disturb sleep. Sometimes it is shortness of breath when lying down. Sometimes it's a racing pulse at night. And seniors may not connect these symptoms with their heart. They may just think they're anxious or overtired. But sleep that is shallow or frequently interrupted might be the only early clue. According to research from the American Heart Association, disrupted sleep is both a cause and a consequence of heart disease. It's a two-way street, and by paying attention to nighttime symptoms, we can sometimes catch cardiac issues before they become dangerous. Let me be clear, not every night of poor sleep means there's a serious illness hiding underneath. Sometimes it's just too much caffeine. Sometimes it's a late dinner or a noisy neighborhood. But when sleep problems become consistent, when they stretch beyond a few weeks, when they begin affecting your days, it's time to listen closely. Because your body is not trying to punish you. It's trying to speak to you. Sleep is one of the most honest things our body does. It cannot lie. It cannot fake it. If something is off, sleep is often the first to suffer. So we must not treat poor sleep as an isolated problem. We must look at the full picture: the mood, the memory, the pain, the breathing, the heart, the digestion. Every part of the body connects to sleep, and sleep in turn connects to every part of the body. I share all of this not to worry you, but to empower you. Because once you know that poor sleep might be a symptom, not the root, you can take steps that truly heal. You can have honest conversations with your doctor. You can ask the right questions. You can catch things early when they are still small. And in doing so, you can protect your health, your mind, and your life. Please remember, you deserve restful sleep, not just as a luxury, but as a basic part of your well-being. If you are struggling, don't keep it to yourself. Let your sleep speak, and let your doctor listen. Healing begins the moment we stop ignoring what the body is trying to tell us. You are not alone, and there is always hope, even in the stillness of the night.